want you to set the record straight for me. This 23-year-old, he started in Lagos, Nigeria, comes through Amsterdam before heads to Detroit. What kind of, presumably going through some kind of screening in Nigeria to then get to Amsterdam, what kind of screening would he have gone through, if anything, from Amsterdam to Detroit?
He would have probably gone through a full level of screening at Amsterdam. All the flights to the U.S. are specially screened. There's several airlines, including a few non-American airlines, who get additional security coverage there. And normally that's not just the metal detector, but also questions being posed to people, sort of a personal profiling concept. There's CCTV coverage of the area. There's extra security around the area as well in case anything is discovered there or occurs. So I think the person probably was screened pretty thoroughly, and that's one of the points of concern here. Short of being patted down and maybe physically being disrobed and looked at, this person was able to get through what's generally considered a fairly high level of aviation security within Europe.
Yeah,
and if
let's
that
talk
can
about
happen,
that. Let's talk specifically, because Amsterdam, this is a major hub. This is like Charles de Gaulle in Paris. This is Amsterdam. It's a major transatlantic hub, not just to take you to Europe, but the rest of the world. How high is security there?
Generally speaking, pretty high. I mean, the Dutch have invested an awful lot, not just in people, but also in technology. It's known as an innovation platform. They do a lot of work with the Department of Homeland Security on systems, on inspections, on tips, on best practices. But they're also fairly active within Europe, European institutions dealing with aviation security, and IATA, the International Aviation Security Platform, which is headquartered in Spain. And interesting here is that the Dutch a few years ago were pioneers with biometric security for passengers, so the so-called fast lane concept, which is called Privium at Amsterdam Airport, and frequent flyers there often use it to get sort of a bit preferred treatment, but they're also much sharper or a higher level of screening for these people going through. And right now they're also piloting the body scan technology, which may be used in the future here. There's been a big controversy around body scanning because of the privacy concerns. You can literally see through people's clothes.
So
and
Glenn,
right now they're,
from what I'm getting from you, we could perhaps learn a thing or two from the Dutch and what they're doing security screening-wise. So in your 25 years here of studying terrorism issues, security issues, where do you think the lapse occurred?
Well, what scares me here, obviously we can talk about a lapse and a failure. The problem is we talk about a lapse and a failure when we know what we're fighting against, when we have sort of a standard of what we're looking for. And when the standard is we're looking for powder on the one hand and maybe syringes or small glass objects on the other, it gets very difficult, and that's what's so worrisome in this particular case. I heard one report that there might have been a syringe involved in making this little device. And then the question becomes, is anybody with insulin stepping onto a flight or with flu shots getting onto a flight, are they going to be able to get through? So key news later today will be, what did this device look like, what did it consist of, and what can the security authorities and especially the FBI tell us about what it is we need to look for now in addition to everything we were already looking for.